And there we have it, everyone. The Planet Zoo Tropical Pack was announced just this morning, and there's a lot to talk about. But before I delve into the contents of the pack, let me just talk about my initial thoughts to begin with, because this is an interesting theme, and I've got some things I want to say about it. So personally, I find the new tropical theme to be a bit perplexing. I'm probably the only person saying this, as it doesn't really matter what the pack is called, but rather what the contents are. But this is just my OCD finding this to be a confusing theme. You see, tropical is a very general theme, whereas last year we had more of environmental themed animal packs. We are now starting off this year with more of a biome themed scenery pack. Now, I'm not against Frontier taking the environmental theming and making them into scenery packs as well, but the problem is that tropical theming is more of a geographic climate rather than an environment. And within a tropical climate, you can find a variety of environments, including wetlands, grasslands, and other environments like rainforests and coastlines. So this tropical theme is just different from any other pack we've had, and so you see that's just it. Unless Frontier is planning on making more biome themed packs later this year, then this really should have just been more of a proper environment theme like the past ones, rather than this very broad and general biome. So if I was Frontier, I would have simply made this a rainforest pack rather than a tropical pack. It would still have all the same contents and continue the environmental theming from last year, but now including scenery packs. Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much, as the contents of the pack are far more important than the title, and the contents in this one are great anyway, but a part of me just feels like Frontier could be a bit more organized with their pack theming. And now I really hope we see another biome-themed scenery pack this year to sort of help balance out this new pack. Maybe something like an alpine pack could be cool to see. But the reason I say all this is because at the moment, this one just feels a bit out of place in the overall collection of packs. But that's just my take on it though, and I don't want to get into it anymore as we're here to be excited for this new pack and not question the theming, so let's just get right on into it. Alright, so let's begin with the scenery, and as we had suspected from yesterday's livestream, we have this new sort of, I believe it was Balinese-styled Southeast Asian architecture that we can see all throughout the trailer here. Very, very beautiful stuff. I think it looks great, and what's kind of funny is, of course, 2 years ago, around the same time, we got the Southeast Asia Animal Pack, which of course gave us a whole bunch of wildlife from Southeast Asia, but no real scenery, until now, finally. So like, 2 years later, it feels like this pack had a bit of a goal in mind to kind of fill that gap that the Southeast Asia Animal Pack left, that gap of course being scenery. So now we have some proper Southeast Asian scenery, and it just looks absolutely wonderful. Now, I won't lie, for me personally, I don't find an extreme amount of use in this scenery. It's not my preferred type. I'm more into modern zoo architecture, but of course, again, it can still be very useful. You can still take it apart and find pieces to use. The big one for me right now is the painted bricks. I think these painted bricks look absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to use those, as well as the thatch roof, all the different roofs that we have going on here in the architecture. And then of course we have a whole variety of new plants coming, a whole bunch of new foliage, and you know, if this being Frontier, we know we're in for some good foliage because they always make beautiful foliage, so I can't wait to see all that. But yeah, all in all, I don't have a whole lot to say about the scenery. It's useful, but not the most useful to me. I'm looking forward to it, I appreciate it, it's just great to get more architecture in general, but I am mostly here for the animals, as a lot of us are, so let's get into the animals now. Alright, so let's begin with the face of the pack, that being the Largibbon. I won't lie, I wouldn't have imagined this to be the face of the pack, but it is what it is. Now, for me personally, I'm really looking forward to having Largibbons in my zoos. They're my preferred gibbon species over the Siamang, but you see, if I was designing these packs, what I would have done is had the Largibbon be in the conservation pack, and instead, in this pack, give us spider monkeys. I really think they should have done spider monkeys, especially because obviously they wanted to give us more brachiation, more brachiating animals. So spider monkeys would have been the way better choice in my opinion. More expensive, yeah, but again, way better. Regardless, the Largibbon does look really good. I'm looking forward to having them. As I said, I much prefer them over the Siamang. They're more colorful. They look more interesting in my opinion, and they're also more common in zoos, I believe. So a really great choice, even if not my favorite. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. And then after that, we have the red river hog. As we had suspected in the live stream yesterday, they were coming, and we have them, and they look amazing. Just going off this one picture here, I really appreciate how they have the furry, the furry texture to them that they do in real life. It looks really cool in my opinion, and I just think Frontier did a great job with the fur texture on this one. The colors are great, the baby's beautiful, and I think it's wonderful to finally have the long-awaited red river hog in the game. Really looking forward to seeing these guys in action in our zoos. And then after that, we have the Asian water monitor, more of a surprising choice. Now, we don't have a whole lot of looks at this guy yet. We just have this one really cool underwater scene here, as well as like a couple shots of them in the distance. But for the most part, it's the face of the animal is still a secret. Regardless, this is actually a really interesting choice. I had mentioned in my animal wish list not too long ago that I really want to see more reptiles this year, especially lizards and turtles, and so here we are finally getting a new monitor lizard. Like after, what, 4 years now, we have gotten 4 years, 3 years, I forgot. Either way, we finally have another monitor lizard, and the texture on the skin already looks incredible. Frontier pretty much never disappoint with their reptiles. They're very good about making beautiful looking reptiles, so I trust that the Asian water monitor is going to look perfect in game when we finally see it. But yeah, just really speaking from a herp fan, I think this is a really great choice. I know some other people aren't a big fan, but I appreciate more lizards. We could really use them. Now, second to last, we have the big one. At least I think the biggest one of this pack is actually the exhibit animal. We are getting, finally, kind of surprisingly, sloths. Yes, we are actually getting sloths. Holy crap. I had said this animal had a possible chance of getting included. It's been talked about for such a long time now, but we are finally getting them in the form of an exhibit animal. Now, I know some people aren't a big fan of this. They want them to be habitat animals, and I can understand why. I too would want them to be habitat animals, but the truth is, it's either this or nothing, so I'll take it. A walk-through sloth habitat sounds better than nothing, but the real big debate going on right now is why Frontier chose three-toed sloths, or, in this case, the brown-throated sloth. Well, I'm not surprised. A lot of people are, I am not. The truth is, between two-toed and three-toed sloths, it's a debate of popularity versus realism. You see, two-toed sloths are much more popular in zoos, which is why a lot of people preferred them, but most people are familiar with the three-toed sloth. It's kind of what people think of when they think of sloths. So again, it was a debate of popularity versus realism, and in the end, Frontier chose popularity. It is what it is. A sloth, regardless, is going to be great to have, and for anyone who uses mods, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of two-toed sloths mods coming out, so that'll be cool. But yeah, sloths in general are coming, and all we have to go off of right now is the scenery item, just of its sign. It looks cute so far, I'll say that. I am looking forward to seeing the sloths in action, as I'm sure we all are. Now lastly, the animal I was actually most looking forward to seeing, but the one we have absolutely no picture of yet, the Fossa, of course. Yes, the Fossa from yesterday's livestream is in the game now, and I can't wait to see them. There's not a whole lot for me to say because, again, we have nothing to look at, but I really hope, and I'm trusting Frontier, that the Fossa is going to come out great. It's a bit of a difficult animal in my opinion because, as I had said in my animal wishlist video, this seemingly cat-like animal is not a cat at all, and so I'm very curious to see if they just reuse a cat rig, or are they going to give them their own unique rig. Very curious to find out. But yes, Fossas are coming to Planet Zoo. And with all these new animals and scenery, we are of course getting a new campaign scenario for anyone who is looking forward to that. So yeah, all in all, this is another really solid pack. Although I do think the theme is interesting and a bit confusing, I am looking forward to it regardless. It's a very solid pack, solid selection of animals, and some really beautiful scenery. Now, of course, this pack will be coming out on April 4th, and I will try and cover it as best as I can with how much time I have. But yeah, right now I just want to know, what do you guys think about the new Planet Zoo Tropical Pack in the comments down below? Let me know what is your favorite animal and what you're looking forward to the most. But yeah, until the next video, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.